Come on. Do I sound like I'm joking? Do I sound like I'm playing? When you look into my eyes, you understand what I'm saying? Let me say it to you slowly, and it may sound scandalous. I don't think that you can handle this.
All right, once again, we are on. I am the Mojo King. Mike Steph will be joining us shortly, and this is Hidden Gems Football, brought to you by the 19 Media Group. This episode will be featuring the Thursday night game. Before we get into that, there was some action off the field in the NFL. Devontae Adams is now a New York Jet. Amari Cooper is now a Buffalo Bill. Cam Akers is now a Minnesota Viking. Playoff teams are trying to make a push. I can't wait to see what next domino falls. But enough of the small talk. Let's get to the featured presentation. And that is Thursday Night Football. The Denver Broncos, who are 3-3, are heading to New Orleans to face the 2-4 Saints. The Broncos are listed as 2.5-point favorites, while the total is 37.5 points. That means Vegas is telling us the Saints score 17.5. As far as injury news, Denver has one injury, but a major one. All-Pro cornerback Patrick Surtain will miss Thursday night's game. On New Orleans' side, there are much more problems. Derek Carr with an oblique injury. I think he's very unlikely to play. Also listed as questionable, Taysom Hill, the tight end and jack of all trades. He seems very unlikely to play as well. Who is guaranteed not to play is both of the starting wide receivers for the Saints. Chris Olave is out with a concussion. He is not cleared concussion protocol yet. And Rashid Shaheed is going to have knee surgery for a torn meniscus. He's certainly out this week and will be out for weeks. At least 2, possibly 4, possibly more.
We're talking things that make you blush, but trust us, it's a must. From awkward to taboo, we're here to guide you through. It don't matter if you're a bit of a prude, it's a prude awakening.
We have 5 games that we have to get to this week. We have a Thursday night game, we have a Sunday morning game, we have a Sunday night game, and once again, we have 2 Monday night games. Why they need 2 Monday night games? Who knows? Personally, I don't get it. Personally, maybe they're burning me out. Not that. If one thing that's burning me out is this, the Jets that's on my chest. But with all that out the way, let's get to game number 1, Thursday Night Football, in which the Denver Broncos visit the New Orleans Saints. The Denver Broncos are a 2-point favorite, and the over-under for this game sits at the time of my recording, 37.5 points. The Broncos come into this game fresh off a 23-16 loss to the Los Angeles Chargers at home in a game that was not quite as close as the score indicated. To tell you the truth, it was nowhere near as close as the score indicated. At one point, the Denver Broncos were down 23-0 until a little run late in the game, scoring 16 points in the fourth quarter, and made it look presentable. It looked like all the things were starting to click, especially on offense, dealing with these Denver Broncos, as they rattled off 3 straight victories over the likes of the New York Jets, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Las Vegas Raiders. This defense is stellar, giving up only 16 points per game, and a second in the league in sacks with 22. But the struggles on the other side of the ball will probably be their undoing by the end of the season. It's funny how the so-called offensive genius known as Sean Payton doesn't look as great without Drew Brees and Bo Nix. He has flashes, but there's a reason. There's a reason why Bo Nix stayed in college football as long as he did. There's a reason why he scurried out of the SEC the way he did. Going to the Saints, to me, are who we thought they were. Albeit due to the injury of Derek Carr, who, to tell you the truth, was trending downward before he had the injury to that oblique. The season was starting to be bleak for Derek Carr. You know, the Mojo King's favorite quarterback. The Mojo King's quarterback who he believes doesn't deserve nearly half the slander in which yours truly give them, and the majority of the football fans give them. Well, this battered and bruised team comes into this game 2-4, and the sooner that they put out their misery, the better. Just last week, with Spencer Rattler behind center, they gave up 51 points at home to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is one of those games that in the past couple of years, they always throw on Thursday night just to get the prerequisite primetime responsibility out. So I might as well just get down to brass tacks. I might as well get down to my predictions. Denver is favored by 2 points on the road due to their defense and due to the fact of there's so many injuries, specifically on the offensive side of the ball. Most importantly, at quarterback for the Saints, I think this is a no-brainer. So I will go Denver -2 to cover the spread on the road. Now, after that over-under, 37.5 is quite a low number. And tell you the truth, I think Vegas know what they're talking about because you have Spencer Rattler, who is like below average at best, and you got the aforementioned Bo Nix. This is not screaming shootout whatsoever. So, with all that being said, I probably would be prudent for me to pick the under, right? Well, you know what? I'm going to stay on that track. So, my picks: Denver -2, yes. Over under 37.5, I'm going under.
I find Denver a little bit confusing. Will the good or the bad Denver show up this week? And will the good or bad Bo Nix show up this week? He's been inconsistent at best. One way or the other, you figure the coach, Sean Payton, will want to win this one going up against his former team. Now, as for the Saints, I got major question marks if they will be able to do anything offense. The offense will now feature Spencer Rattler, obviously Alvin Kamara, even though he's dealing with his own nicks and bruises, tight end Jawan Johnson, and their top wide receiver will likely be Bub Means. Yes, if you're a Saint fan, you are all in on Bub. Now, Spencer Rattler had solid numbers. He's 22 for 44 passing with 243 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. And New Orleans scored 27 points last week. But that should come with a major asterisk. They scored all their points in the second quarter. It included Rashid Shaheed's punt return for a touchdown and 2 interceptions made deep in Tampa Bay's territory. That means 17 of their points didn't have much to do with the offense at all. Now, obviously, Denver can make mistakes, but these types of mistakes don't seem very likely. And I don't know if I expect the Saints to be able to score at all. So all I need to do is trust in Denver's offense and Bo Nix. Hard to do. But when it comes down to it, that 2.5 points, I'm definitely going with Denver. And I trust the Saints offense so little, even at 37.5, even if at that low of a score, I'm with Mike Steph and going under. It's a little bit late now, but the ticker is there. You're welcome. So, thank you for hanging in with us, and we are gone. Bye. Go, Bub.
This is a 19 Media Group presentation.
Listen, that's the wonders of technology. I'm able to put my part, he's able to put his part, and then he seamlessly sews it together. So much so that, shoot, tell you the truth, this might be a thing. Now let me stop.